One of my friends said to me recently that Tariq, you're unlocking career goals like it's a PlayStation game, unlocking achievements. And that's really stuck with me because I've never seen it like that. For me, it feels like it's been years and years of working towards this point that I've got to now, this pivotal moment in my career where I'm about to embark on executive leadership, start an entirely new bracket of my career that's going to propel me into, I hope, one day being in the C suite. And that is something that I'm living through. It's the transition that I'm on right now. And I don't see that anywhere on YouTube. Like, I've seen career advice, I've seen guidance from coaches, but I'm really living this and I wanted to share this really with the world. I wanted to share the highs, the lows, the mess ups that I've made, but then also the advice that has got me to where I am now and hopefully can get viewers to where they want to be in their career. If they aspire to be, one day in the C suite or working towards being an executive in a large corporate, like myself, being in an investment bank, it's a really hard climb, and it requires a lot of different aspects to come together, both personally in your growth, but in also external factors as well. So, being in my 40s now, just starting my 40s, I felt this is the right time to start sharing knowledge and start connecting with people on a larger scale. I've had 20 years of work experience really across varying industries. My career has not been straightforward. At university, I started working in a hospital in a mental health ward as a nursing assistant, and that was really just to pay the rent to live in London. And from there, it's kind of grown in different directions. I got a job in IT, working in a small firm, a banking firm, really doing hardware, building computers, and answering the phone as a help desk sort of service. And then from there, thinking, how can I move forward? How can I take my skills, learn more, and get to where I am now, 20 years later, at one of the world's largest investment banks, and kickstarting a new course of my life in executive leadership effectively. But it was only the last few years that I started to really take this seriously. And I went through most of my career, going through the motions. And it was only in my late 30s that I thought to myself, I had this moment where I thought, when I get to 50, I don't want to be just going through the motions. I want to be, at the top of my game. I want to be someone who's making an impact in the industry. And I want to be someone, that is senior effectively on the C suite. So how am I going to get there from someone who has no brand or sort of no impact to then suddenly being someone who's going to be in the running for leadership and for a C suite role? And that is effectively the course I've been on for the last few years. It's only really been, I would say, the last 2 to 3 years that I've really put into motion this plan. And now learning everything that I've learned over the years in my career and putting that into practice and taking advice from others has got me to this point. And now being a YouTuber will help me to firstly process all of what it is that's going on in my life, but also share that knowledge, give that back, share the knowledge with this wide world. And that's exactly what I want to do. I've searched for this stuff on YouTube and I found career advice and I found ways to sort of get me to the next level in terms of technical knowledge, but I couldn't find anyone who was living through the transition of going into executive leadership. There was always YouTubers in the early stages of their career or kind of entering senior manager of their career, but no one really going to director and managing director and the C-suite. And I've had to fumble my way through that path, but I've got to the point now where I am at the cusp of executive leadership in the early stages of that bracket and really starting to pave for myself what I hope the next 5 years will lead me to being at the top of that bracket. And that's exactly the journey I want to share on YouTube, but also the tips and to aspire those who are wanting to go on that journey and not quite there yet. What can they do to get to where I've got to in my career? being 40 really means to me that I've got to this point in my life, but also in my career, where there's so much experience built up behind me that has valuable insight. Insight that I can share with everyone, that's live from within the trenches. This isn't hypothetical theory, this is actually lived experience. But also, what I'm about to go through in the executive leadership bracket is also going to be lived experience. And I want to share the highs and lows of that. It's not been easy navigating a career in the corporate world, absolutely not. There's been really tough times, there's been really great times, but there's a lot of learning there. And I now have a good picture of what it was, the steps that I had to take to get to this point, and really sharing that with everyone, I'm hoping will be valuable, and I think it will be. I'm also pretty nervous about this YouTube journey as well. It's so different. I mean, I'm used to speaking on stage. That was the first stage, I think, of me trying to take myself seriously. I went on a journey of putting myself on the stage, starting to do public speaking, going to meetups or going to big transformation events in the digital space, in product technology, and sharing my experience and thinking, I have the stage to do this. Let's do it physically. But YouTube is a completely different beast. I have to say, recording videos is really not the same as standing on a stage and speaking to people face to face. And I find that really engaging, and I can flow off other people, I can read body language, and it's a really different experience. But with YouTube, I'm hoping that, I can convey the same message that I have been doing on stage, but obviously now in the video format, and hoping I can get across not only my passion for what I'm doing here, really to help others, but also to share my experiences, as I mentioned, in this real transitionary period of my career. Some of the things I wish I had learnt sooner is that I always had a seat at the table, and I always felt like I did not have a seat at the table. My mindset was very much that I need permission to do things. I need to ask permissions to have an opinion about something at work, or to have my voice heard in the office. And I really felt that that was holding me back. It was really more myself and my ability to think of myself credibly. And it was only when I made that switch to think, right, I do have an opinion that matters. I have valuable insight. I can pull up a seat to the table and share my thoughts and not feel that I was not good enough, or I was just not in the position of authority to do that. And I think that real shift in mindset is what has helped me propel over the last few years into getting to this point now where I'm excited and nervous about the next stage of my career, but I'm also really enthused to share it and also share the learnings from this as well. So the plan, I think, is for me to upload weekly videos. I want to do a combination of different types of video. I was thinking more sort of diarized style of my learnings, and what's happened in my career, what's going on for me right now as well in terms of this transition to directorship and beyond. But then also some more structured videos that really focus on tips and advice that you can actually employ into your day to day. So whether that's on, I would say, personal branding, or the communication skills that I've had to change, obviously getting the online presence, and then also the technical skills, being in product management. I focus on generative AI and AI product management as well, managing engineers that I've done, software engineering and the technology side of my career, and then also the more political side, gaining influence and being able to command a room, to command high performing teams to work well, and really working in such a large global investment bank as well, the tips there. So really focusing on those skills as well as the experiences I'm actually going through live and in present moment. So there's absolutely loads I want to cover over the course of this channel's history going forward. And I really just want to make sure that I'm listening to the community, listening to you guys where you are in your careers and the issues you're coming up with, the problems that you're facing, and seeing where I've got to in my career, how I can help you guys to do that, to get to that point in your careers, but also to help you unstick some situations you're in and see a road forward for growth. And that's what this channel's about. I'm going to grow on this journey and I want you guys to grow with me, and hopefully we can learn from each other and we can help each other be the best that we can be in our careers. So if that sounds exciting to you, then stick around, subscribe to this channel, and you'll get loads of content that will help you grow in your career, your technical skills, but also your leadership skills. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.